My ex-fiancée said I owed her half of everything after we broke up. We were never married, and she never paid a bill. I let the court handle that one. Hello Reddit I+ here. I never thought I'd end up in court battling over assets with someone I never married. My name is Jonathan Rivers, 38 years old. I run a small but successful construction business based in Raleigh, North Carolina. I met Elena 3 years ago at a friend's engagement party. She was charming, funny, and seemed genuinely interested in me. Not just what I had, or so I thought. Elena was working in interior design when we met. She claimed she was tired of dating boys, and was ready for a real relationship with a man with vision. Looking back, that should have been my first red flag, but I was flattered, and honestly, I was lonely. I'd just come out of a long relationship, where I'd been cheated on, and Elena felt like a fresh start. Things moved fast. Within 6 months, she moved into my house. I didn't ask her to. She just kind of brought her things over one weekend and stayed. She told me she'd pitch in for bills once she landed a big client. That never happened. Still, I didn't push. I believed in being supportive. I paid for everything. The mortgage, utilities, groceries, vacations, even her car note after she said hers got too expensive. Meanwhile, she focused on building her brand on Instagram, which mostly involved posting photos of our house, our dinners, and things I had paid for. At first, I was okay with it. I was in love, or at least I thought I was, but things started to change. Elena became distant. She started talking down to me in front of friends, joking that I was just a hammer with legs, or that I'd be nowhere without her design advice. She started dressing differently, going out without telling me, and leaving her phone face down at night. Then one night, I came home early from a work site. Her car was in the driveway, but she wasn't answering my calls. I walked in and found her on FaceTime with a man, laughing in that flirty tone she used to save just for me. She didn't even flinch when I walked in. "Oh, don't be dramatic," she snapped. "He's just a friend. You're paranoid, and it's getting old." I didn't make a scene. I simply nodded, walked into our bedroom, packed a small bag, and stayed with a friend for a few days. That was the first step toward the end. When I came back to talk things through, she flipped the script entirely, told me I was the one ruining things, that I didn't appreciate her or support her dreams. She claimed she had sacrificed her career to help me grow my business, despite never once stepping foot on a job site or helping with a single invoice. So I ended it, gave her 30 days to move out. She refused. Then came the bombshell. She texted me one night saying, "I talked to a lawyer. Since we were basically common law married, I'm entitled to half of everything. Half of everything. The house, which I bought 5 years before I met her. My business, which I built from scratch over a decade ago. My retirement savings. Everything." She filed a petition with the court, claiming she was owed compensation for the time she spent acting as a spouse. She even listed items like our living room furniture, appliances, and my tools as joint property. Her lawyer tried painting me as a manipulative partner who had used her as unpaid labor. They brought in screenshots of her Instagram as evidence that she contributed to the image and value of my business through social influence. What they didn't expect was how meticulous I am when it comes to documentation. I had receipts for everything. Bills in my name. Records showing she never made a single financial contribution. Screenshots of text messages where she admitted to not working. Even bank statements proving I paid for her vacations with my card while her accounts barely showed activity. But the real twist, I discovered she had been funneling money from a shared Venmo we used for groceries to a secret savings account, sending payments to herself for fake services like cleaning or meal prep. In total, she siphoned over $9,000 across 2 years, all without my knowledge. When my attorney presented that in court, her entire argument crumbled. The judge didn't just dismiss her claim. He reprimanded her for what he called a clear pattern of entitlement and manipulation. She left the courtroom red-faced, crying and angry, not because she lost, but because she couldn't believe her plan didn't work. She had assumed the system would back her up, that playing the victim would guarantee her a payday. But in the end, the truth spoke louder than her lies. She moved out a week later, but not before leaving a bitter note saying, "You'll never find someone like me again." I smiled when I read that, because I realized that's exactly the point. A week after Elena moved out, I thought it was finally over. I was wrong. She started a smear campaign on social media. She posted vague quotes about narcissistic men and abusive relationships, tagging places we had been together and implying she had escaped something toxic. Friends we had in common started pulling away from me. Some even messaged me saying, "I didn't know you were like that." I ignored it at first, until one of my biggest clients called me. He sounded cautious. "Hey John, listen, I just want to ask, is everything okay on your end? I've been seeing some things online and, well, it's starting to look bad for your image. That's when it hit me. Elena wasn't just trying to ruin my name for revenge. She was trying to hurt my business. I gathered everything. Every post, every comment, every message from people she had manipulated into believing I was some controlling monster. One of my subcontractors even told me she reached out to him directly, saying I ran a shady operation and was being investigated. The thing is, Elena had no limits. She thought if she couldn't get my money through the courts, she'd ruin my reputation and force me into some kind of settlement just to make her go away. But this time, I didn't just sit back. I had my lawyer file a defamation suit against her. It wasn't about money. I didn't even care if I won financially. I just wanted it on record that she lied and that she tried to destroy my livelihood out of spite. Then came the real twist. During our investigation for the lawsuit, my attorney uncovered something else. Elena had forged 2 utility bills in an attempt to retroactively prove she had contributed financially. She'd photoshopped her name onto a couple of electricity bills and submitted them as proof during the earlier court proceedings. That was enough to open a criminal investigation: forgery, fraud, defamation. Suddenly, this wasn't about our breakup anymore. This was about a woman who couldn't handle rejection, so she tried to burn everything down. When the police got involved, she panicked. Her tone changed completely. She reached out to me directly. She left a voicemail, her voice trembling, saying, "Jonathan, please. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I just felt like you used me. Like I gave you the best years of my life for nothing. Can't we just settle this quietly? Please." I didn't respond. Not because I hated her, but because I finally saw her clearly. Every apology was just another angle, another play for control. Eventually, she accepted a plea deal: misdemeanor fraud and a public apology, posted on the same platforms where she had tried to destroy me. In her video, she admitted to lying, manipulating, and falsifying documents. She claimed she was going through emotional issues and acted out of desperation, but everyone could see it for what it really was: damage control. After that, her social media following tanked. Clients dropped her. Even the people she'd fooled started turning on her, commenting things like, "You almost ruined a good man over jealousy." And me, I moved on, slowly. It took months to rebuild my reputation, but my real clients, the ones who knew me, stood by me. I met someone new, not flashy, not perfect, but honest, grounded. She didn't care about my money or my business. She just liked me for who I was. Funny how peace looks like betrayal to the people who only ever saw you as a transaction. One rainy afternoon, nearly a year later, I walked past a small cafe downtown, and there she was, Elena, sitting alone at a table, staring at her phone. She looked up. Our eyes met. I nodded once and kept walking. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need closure. I won the moment I stopped letting her control the story.